Let me go ahead and post this link if anybody wants to call in. We will open up the phone lines, so to speak. I swear I found the loudest mouse on the planet. It's like click, click. If I have to suffer through it, so do you. No mute. No mute button for you. Alrighty, there you go. And that goes to anybody. Anybody that wants to call in and talk about anything, really. All right, it has been pinned. What's going on, D? Your pink Sleuth Crew hoodie looks pretty cool. I smoke 2 joints in the morning. I smoke 2 joints at night. I smoke 2 joints before I smoke 2 joints, and then I get my head right. It's a good one. I smoke 2 joints in the morning. What's going on, Farmer? Metal Mama, what's up? We have minus 7 degrees Celsius today. Yeah, the weather's pretty intense right now, especially in the Midwest. Definitely not over here with us. We're good. Check back with us in the summertime when it's 75 for you and 120 for us. That yin and yang. Wanda says, I love rap. Yeah, that's some good hip hop right there, Gangstar. Some quality. Let's see, what did I pick up today? Savvy Flower Banana Snowman. It's pretty good. Really just killing time, getting ready to hit date night with the wife. We're going to go hit some golf balls and then go to one of our favorite little restaurants at that that's attached to the golf course there. So she's getting ready now. Probably gives me 30 minutes to an hour. Cindy, good to see you. Anything I like? How are you? Oh, that noise? No. I knocked my I used my PlayStation controller to play my boxing game. And I knocked it off my little table here. or my monitor stand. So I have 2 monitors, and they're on top of 2 stands that are on top of my desk. Anybody wants to call in, hit that link. The floor is wide open. Whatever you guys want to talk about.
This is some trippy ass shit, Holmes.
Brad, are you with us?
Yeah, shit, Holmes.
Oh shit, man. This is Antonio. This is not Brad. I just want to
Antonio.
call it. Good morning.
This
Good
is some
morning.
trippy ass shit, Holmes.
Antonio, this is not Brad. I just want to call it.
You got an echo,
Good morning.
Antonio.
Good morning.
Trippy ass shit, Holmes.
Oh, we lost Antonio.
But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
It'll get worse before it gets better.
You're gonna cry in the car.
Erroneous! Erroneous! Erroneous on both counts.
Oh, Lord.
We do not train to be merciful here. Mercy is for the weak. Here, on the street, in competition.
Get to the chopper!
You can read this.
Oh, the anger sharks are swimming in.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Well, it looks like we lost Antonio. I've fallen and I can't get up. Is he alive? "19 in Boston." Damn, that's cold. I actually started getting my garden all ready today. Looks like we got somebody calling in. Give me a moment. Can never be too careful these days, so. Hello, Ruckus.
What's up, brother?
What is up?
My cholesterol, my hairline, nothing good.
Hey, I got my cholesterol taken care of.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, man. My doctor said it was the quickest turnaround she had ever seen.
Now,
I
through
worked at
diet
it.
change or
No, I
what?
was on both medication, diet, exercise.
Okay. Now, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in my 40s.
Okay. Dude, I'm telling you, keep up with it, man. My check engine light came on when I hit 50, and it's been downhill ever since.
Yeah, I'm taking that shit serious, dude. I work out. I'm in really good shape right now, dude.
Good. Amen.
I love it. I'm trying to hold on to it. Like yesterday, I didn't work out as hard as I wanted to, and today I'm kind of pissed off about it.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, that's good for your body and your mind.
Yeah, it's been a while since I felt like that. Well, I hope you get a good plan for yourself.
Well, dude, I'm going to be 60 next month, and my plan is I do not want to see 70. That's my plan.
Oh, you're trying to speed up the process.
yeah. When people say, "Hey, Ruckus, how's life?" I say, "Taking forever, man. Jesus, when's this stuff stop?"
Well, at least you got everything out that you needed to.
Yeah, exactly. I've had enough of surgeries and all that shit. I'm done with all that.
Yeah, I had a hernia surgery and a fucked up dentist appointment, and that was enough for me.
Yeah, dental's the worst.
Yeah.
That's the worst, man.
I call them mechanics of the mouth.
Micro mechanics.
Yeah. We're going to need an oil change. We're going to need a flush. We're going to need some new brake pads. Just going down the checklist. You need it all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Whenever they get done with you, that treatment plan is a shocker, isn't it?
To your insurance company, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the final number, it's like, geez, Louise.
When they get that bill, they're like, "Man, why are we in this business?"
Yeah, just pull them all out, dude. You know how much is that? Just pull them all out.
Just yank them.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, what do you
What's on your
think
mind?
about these amended charges? What do you think about that?
I don't know. I think it's either it could be three things. And remember, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, right?
Sure,
Um,
you do.
it could be they're leaving room for a plea deal. It
Hmm.
could be that it's not a change, it's more of a correction. This is kind of what they should have done in the first place.
Hmm.
Or they could have other information that that is kind of telling them a new story.
Right. Yeah. And also, somebody made a comment on my live in the comment section that it also may be to ensure that the jury has options. You know, I didn't even consider that. To me, this screams cooperation, plea
Yeah.
deal. And you and I both have agreed forever that he's going to plead out. We both said that. But if it does go to trial, I can't see it, but if it does go to trial, it gives the jury options, you know. If because the defense team, we already know that they throw caution to the wind, and they're doing a great job. There's no doubt about it. But they really don't care. They got balls. That's for sure. I would hire either one of them in a heartbeat for any case that I was involved with.
I'm sure Goal would too.
Yeah, well, absolutely, absolutely. But they, you know, if they're successful in shooting down some of the evidence, because it's all you and I both know, it's all smoke and mirrors, sleight of hand, presentation, theatrics at this point. Now, the prosecution, you know, Ellie makes the arrest, turns the case over to the prosecutor. Well, the prosecutor kind of has to go on the defense up until the trial. It's like in baseball, you know, they know that this one hitter is a pull hitter, so they do the infield shift, you know. So the prosecution are just reacting to what the defense team is throwing at them. But then once the gavel drops and the trial starts, well, then it flips. Now the defense is on the defensive side, and the prosecution is now on the offense. But up until the trial, you know, we all know that the prosecution is not going to try this case in the public. It's not going to happen.
I don't think so. I mean, they will, but it won't matter either way. My take on it is also it could be part of a strategy. During the Supreme Court hearing, we kind of saw that the strategy was exposed. We had the prosecution holding discovery back. We read that in the memorandum, and then in the Supreme Court hearing, we find the strategy of the defense team to hold off on the whole speedy trial. Right? They wanted to wait until the last minute. They didn't want the prosecution to know that that's what they were planning to do, kind of catch them off guard.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the prosecution is doing the very same thing, holding on to discovery, and I think that has to do with these other actors and the role that Keegan Kline plays in helping them
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't
Mm-hmm.
have all of the discovery when this all took place. So they still don't have everything. So the same way that the defense was strategizing and holding on to certain things, I think the defense could, and that could lead to the other actors and could have something to do with why the charges are changing.
Well, the judge put a deadline down for discovery, so they have everything. Actually, the other defense team got the discovery, but I'm sure information went back and forth between them and the old attorneys. Um, but you know, the old attorneys, well, the attorneys, the initial crew, they've got everything now. Now the law, the rules, whatever you want to call them, I'm not well versed in this whole judicial thing, Sleuth, at all. But it's not. They don't have 10 days before the trial starts. A lot of people are assuming that, well, they don't have to give them anything until 10 days before the trial starts. No, what that law reads is they cannot add anything new any later than 10 days before the trial starts without both parties agreeing. So 10 days before the trial, there's no new discovery unless they both agree on it. Something, comes up. But, they didn't have the right, the state didn't have the right to hold all discovery until 10 days before um, the trial started. I've heard that a lot, and that's kind of a misconception. And it only makes sense. I mean, it's the law. They have to turn over discovery.
Yeah, and according to the memorandum, and this is the defense, right? The leaked memorandum. They were claiming that they hadn't received everything. They were still waiting on a whole nother dump, something that they hadn't even seen yet.
Right. Well, it all depends as well. I mean, the prosecution had over 5 years. So they had the information. The only new stuff they had was on the specific individual, on Richard Allen. So it didn't take that long for that. It all depends on how the defense wants to receive that information. They have to, at least give them the courtesy of doing what they want. What's up, Frank Meister? So they
Damn.
have to. I mean, they have to turn everything over. I think that was
Yeah, they do.
posturing
They're
as
just
well.
gonna take their time doing it, and they're gonna come up with their own strategy. Really.
Sure. That's why the defense wanted to have that bond hearing, Sleuth. They wanted to get a preponderance of the evidence and see what the prosecution has. We all know there was no way that he was going to get a bond. Those charges were not going to
Hmm.
change. And
What
they
do you
still
think's going to
have
happen now? Do you think that Gull is going to go ahead and keep pushing this issue? I think she might.
she may. I mean, she's hard to read. She really is.
Well, it was the Supreme Court that suggested it. Like, why don't you guys just make our ruling, and then you guys just go on and do what you should have done instead of, because they kind of agreed with the defense team. Like, yeah, you guys kind of were given a quid pro quo. Like, I'm going to embarrass you, or you can withdraw. I didn't see that clearly because I was too emotional, but the Supreme Court, they saw it clearly, and I agree with them now. But that doesn't mean what they did wasn't wrong, and it still could get them disqualified.
Yeah. Well, I don't think her opinion has changed on those two
Exactly.
gentlemen. Yeah.
What was the word? Structural, I think is the word.
Mm.
The structure of it just was wrong. Not her judgment and not her decision. It was just the way that it was done wasn't correct. So if it was a structuring issue, that means that they're just going to go ahead and restructure it, right?
Right. Yeah. And redo. Yeah. But they made it a point. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing because to that stuff to me is like watching grass grow. It's aggravating because both sides deflect. I mean, the justices were asking specific questions and both sides would deflect, instead of answering directly. But they made it a point to say, okay, so say we say, yes, reinstate the old crew. Well, then if he loses, well, then he can say, well, they were irresponsible and the gross negligence and all that. He can't have it both ways.
And
So they
that's why
made it
the
a point.
judgment was important. The Supreme Court made the right choice by their decision was protecting that case by making that decision, saying that the judge was wrong about them being negligent. As long
Right.
as that's the judgment that's on record, they can't come back and say, "Hey, look, you guys found me guilty, knowing that my defense team was negligent or incompetent," because Judge Gold said that at the beginning. Well, now they can't come back and say that because the Supreme Court has already stated that she was wrong.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, to me, it looks like he has grounds for an appeal either way.
Exactly.
And unless, and this is what I think is going to happen, unless a plea deal's in the works.
Which
That's
I
why I
think it
think
is.
they amended the charges so
Yeah,
he
the
could plead
wiggle
to a
room.
lesser charge. Right. But they're going to tell him that, yeah, well, okay, we're going to give you this plea deal, sweetheart deal. You need to give up or testify against, the people that we already know that's involved, and you cannot appeal it.
And a lot of people think Richard Allen's going to be re-energized by this. But what folks don't realize is a lot of time has gone by. He's had a chance to speak with 2 other attorneys. So for all we know, he's already completely changed his mind by now.
Sure.
He's already made a decision to plea or a decision to go in a whole nother direction.
Sure. Now, if they do, and I mentioned that in my live, that, in their plea to the Supreme Court was they already had a strategy for third party guilt and they wanted to have a speedy trial. If they change that strategy now, Sleuth, that speaks volumes. That just tells you they're throwing spaghetti up against the wall to see what sticks. And there's no gray area there. Winnicky, I know I butcher this poor woman's name, Kara. She's an appellate attorney that filed that paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
It's in black and white that was the plan. He wanted to keep them because they already had the strategy of third party guilt. So now they can't change that without repercussions. Otherwise
I
they're
think
as
it's a
bad
good
as they're saying
strategy.
Leggett is.
The only way the strategy changes is if Richard Allen changes it. This is his strategy. So the only way things are going to change is if he's like, well, all right, guys, I am guilty. I need to plead. This is what really happened. Otherwise, he's just going to maintain this because it's a decent strategy. All they got to do is make that story just as big as the Richard Allen story. That's it.
Yeah, well, the insane shit went out the window. They tried that at first. They look at him.
No, they're still on that.
Health.
They're still on that a little bit, I think.
Well, they can't really push that too much, Sleuth. Otherwise, how can he make a conscious decision that he wants them as his attorneys if he's having mental issues?
Well, there's some talk about his medical records from his work and things like that for around the time of the crime when Abby and Libby were murdered.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to. There's some background that they're trying to tie to that medical part of it, because I think that's something that's in the back pocket of the defense. That's why they've been kind of playing that card a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they're done with that yet.
I mean, they got all that information from CVS and Walmart and all that. The defense team wanted to squash
Make it public.
They wanted to squash any records of what he did since he was incarcerated with his mental health and his physical health and stuff like that. Now, HIPAA comes into play, but when you're talking a case like this, that's why you have to have a judge sign those subpoenas and okay them. And the defense team, of course, tried to have that quashed, and I don't blame them. I mean, that's a good move on their part. But the judge says, yeah, no, we're not going to quash that. We'll quash the mental records unless you bring them up again. If you keep bringing them up, well, then they deserve to see it.
Yeah, I remember reading that.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Like I said, she's a referee. She's not supposed to have a dog in the fight. She's like a referee. And the defense team threw a red challenge flag, like in football, and the Supreme Court is the referees in New York that review it and decide whether or not it was a good call or not. So, she just needs to stay on the straight and narrow now. Now, what do you think about? You think they'll put any sanctions? She can definitely do that. She can put them on a short leash from this point forward.
I think that's what this is all about. I have a feeling that Gall kind of expected this to happen.
Right. Yeah, she's no dummy.
Because this is like, okay, I warned you. Now you guys are throwing this big monkey wrench into everything. It's not me. So
right.
now you guys are back. I'm still here. And let's get going. No more of that shit.
Yeah. But dude, if you and I were that defense team, our first day in court in front of her, we'd be smirking and doing the finger wave at her. And hey, it's me again. Bet you didn't expect to see me sitting here again, did you?
No, I think they're all professionals. I think it means nothing to them. This is just another part of it.
Now, what do you think about the Supreme Court saying that no, we're not going to do this speedy trial thing? Do you think that the defense team is still going to file that?
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's for them to do it. I think what's going to happen is they'll file something to say, hey, we still had time before all the shit hit the fan. We still had a small window of time to get that in there. So we want to go ahead and have that window back. We'll go ahead and file that. And then what it appears is the prosecution will go ahead and show what they were hiding. And then we're going to see what's really what right now here, and probably in the next week or two. We're going to see what is really What?
Well, after that October 30th deadline, if they're hiding anything still that is not new discovery, that they'll get spanked for that.
Lawyer tricks, though. It's always,
Oh yes.
you know what I mean? This is why I did it. This is why legally I was able to do it. This is why you can't hit me with this, you know. They're doing all kinds of shit that they shouldn't be doing. They're going to get away with it on both sides.
Dude, for law enforcement, it's aggravating, Sleuth, because you build a case, you collect evidence, talk to witnesses, you bring that evidence and information to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor looks at it and can say, well, no, that's not a strong enough case. I need more. Oh, yeah, that's good. I'll accept it. Well, the prosecutor accepted it. Now, law enforcement is basically in the background now. The only time that they'll get involved is by the defense saying that they made mistakes. That's how it always happens.
And man, this thing is ripe for the conspiracy too. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like,
yeah. And
imagine
corruption and all that.
well, you have Nicholas being a Freemason and Brad Holder being a Freemason, connected through the same. I think it's even the same like area.
Mm.
Okay, so wouldn't it make sense if they're connected? This guy committed the murder, and I'm going to be playing devil's advocate all of 2024. So I hope everybody gets used to that. But let's say they are in cahoots. Wouldn't it make sense to go ahead and move Nick McClelland into position to have control over the case?
Sure.
Boom. That means you're in control of both sides now.
Sure, if that indeed is the case. But
It's
that's
not.
a lot to prove.
It is not the case. But I'm saying that's the kind of shit that they're going to try to say in court. To me, I feel like the jury's going to look right through all that.
Well, you would hope so.
Yeah, you would hope so.
Yeah, you
would hope so with a lot of folks that we deal with on YouTube.
Well, there's bigger cases than this one that have gone the other way. The OJ.
Well, West
case.
Memphis 3 scares the hell out of me because I think those boys are guilty.
Oh, they're guilty as all get out. That case pisses me off.
And HBO and the whole evil behind it. It kind of reminds me of what's going on with Richard Allen. Like they don't care about Richard Allen. They don't care about court. They don't care about Abby and Libby. They don't care even about themselves. But they push that evil agenda. You know what I mean?
Sure. And this whole thing, the judicial system and all that is under scrutiny now. But you have to keep this in mind. As flawed as our system is, it's the best one in the world. So that tells you, could you imagine being in another country?
I agree with that 100%. Without the United States, the world would be in chaos right now.
Yeah, we have the best judicial system and set of rules and laws and regulations in place and checks and balances than any country.
Well, just our moral standing as well. Like imagine a dictator with our kind of military, like the kind of suffering that the world would be under.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So we could destroy the world and we don't, is what I'm saying.
Thank God. Thank God. Now these new amended charges, right? The only change to it, to me, is just separating. I've always questioned the way they charged him, always. But now they've separated him.
So is it a correction? Just they're like, well, this is what we meant to do from the beginning.
Well, and that's why I named my live, the right thing to do is let the dust settle in this whole case. Gull should have let the dust settle before she went in the chambers and said, hey, we're getting ready to kick you off if you don't quit. The dust should have settled a little bit more after the Supreme Court hearing and their final judgment on it. And also, just the whole case, we have to kind of step back and look at it. Now, Nick made the charges right away as soon as he was arrested, when he didn't have to do that. You have to charge him with something with a probable cause affidavit, but I'm surprised that it took this long for them to amend it to make sense. It just didn't make sense to me at first. It screamed other people involved. Now it really does to me. But I find it interesting that and you and I both know there's a line that's been drawn in the sand. people on the other side of that line, to them, they're saying this means it's a
The opposite.
single person. Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what we're dealing with is upside. Why do you think when you're dealing with Satanism that the cross is upside down?
Right.
That's what we're dealing with. Upside down world.
Yeah, it cracks me up. Now you keep cutting out. Is somebody calling in? Do you need me to drop out? Is there another caller?
No, I don't think you're cutting out. I don't think anybody's cutting out on our end.
Okay, because it sounds like when you're talking to somebody on the phone, they get a call coming in.
Oh, is it like right here? Are you hearing it there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's because I'm kind of sitting cockeyed. I think I'm getting away from the
Oh,
mic, maybe.
okay. Well, you sound fantastic. So you're going to hit balls with your wife today, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna go hit a couple buckets, then we're gonna get a bite to eat. Probably get me a
Nice.
nice big beer.
Nice. Now, dude, I just pulled my putter out and my pitching wedge. After my shoulder replacement, I'm finally getting to where I can do that kind of stuff and really push it. See if I can take full swings again. Because I can hit it. I'm a big hitter. I can drive it. 300's not. It I wouldn't say I average 300, but it's not crazy that I would hit one 300 or further. But I used to joke with people. I'd hit a drive like 320 on a par 4, and I'd be
Mm-hmm.
standing there, be like, "Damn, dude, you knocked the shit out of that." And I said, "Yeah, can I pick this up for an 8?" When I'm only 50 yards from the green, everything else sucks. So it's going to be interesting to see if I have to learn how to play
300.
golf.
That's a good that'd be a good drive for me. I'm about anywhere between 250, because I don't want to sacrifice any of that accuracy.
Right.
Because I know with my 7-iron, I can hit anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? How golf is like that. If you should be able to hit all your irons like that. That's what the pros do. But you have a favorite. Everybody has like a favorite club that they just pure it
Yeah,
every time.
the 7
It's
and the
mental.
6. I like that area right there because, especially on like a par 4 or a par 5, knowing that I drive at 250, keep that straight, keep that accuracy, and then from there I can get an easy 160.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's cool that you and your wife play. My wife doesn't play golf.
Yeah,
But
she doesn't
I
like
miss
to.
it.
She doesn't like to. We go rarely, but it was my turn to pick for date night. So,
Okay.
and she loves that restaurant, so it was a good compromise.
Oh, right on. Right on.
Yeah, she has
All right,
tennis
brother.
elbow, so
Well, I just want to pop on and say, hey, man, and just chat with you a little bit. I know you and I think a lot alike on most of this stuff, so there's not a much to bounce off of you. But I just want to jump on and say, hey, man, say you've been doing a great job. I've been, I don't always chat, but I'm always listening.
ditto.
Yeah. So have a good day. Enjoy your date night tonight.
Thanks, Ruckus.
And don't take any wooden nickels.
No promises.
All right. I'll talk to
Take
you
care.
later, my friend.
Bye. All right. Great call by Ruckus Rocks. See what we've been missing in the chat here. Oop, wrong one. There we go. All righty, guys. We're going to catch up on the chat and then we're going to get out of here. Give a shout out to Antonio and Ruckus Rocks for calling in. Good to see you, Sparky, Cindy, this account, Farmer, Frank Meister. Let me zip on down to the bottom here. What's up, Jules? How are you feeling? Hope you're feeling better. Good to see you, Boston, Olivia, Daisy. Welcome in. Rain Dancer, V. Lisa, James, Sharon Parker. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Charlotte, Caricature. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this quick little Sleuth Crew check-in. Might have another one tomorrow, or we might do some Delphi coverage. And True Crime in the Morning will return on Monday. Be covering the case of Lauren Spear. Thank you, Cindy. And welcome to members, Kelly. Cindy says, enjoy date night. I won't get one until football is over. You got to somehow incorporate the football into date night and say, come on, come this way. We're going this way. But I get you. I went to the dispensary earlier today, and I mean, I walked in there, and there was like 6 guys in there, all in jerseys, talking about football. This account, Justice for Abby and Libby, 100%. God willing. Farmer shit, I think I just burned off my eyebrow. That's funny. Here, I got something for that.
This is some trippy ass shit, Holmes.
Cindy says, I've learned so much I don't want to know. Sparky, have a great day. Periwinkle, what's up? Melissa says, our dispensary is expensive. $35 for an eighth? I just bought this fat 7 grams. It's a quarter for the same price. And this is like 30% THC. Savvy Flower Banana Snowman. Pretty good deal. Yeah, you're getting taxed. Who, James? What's up, James? Visa's Banana Snowman. Savvy Flower Banana Snowman, to be exact. Cindy says, Metal Mama, my hubby has been kicked out of 2 games. I ain't taking him anywhere. Oh, man. He sounds rowdy. I like it. I'm always the one calming down the rowdy guys. It's not worth it, bro. It's not worth it. Yeah, I think I'll like hubby. Sounds like my kind of guy. What'd you say? You always got to keep a couple of those guys with you. Hey, you got a staring problem? Something on your mind? Yeah, Just want to let you know you're sitting in my chair. Is that a fact? Yeah, that's a fact. Well, for a man that don't run hills, you run your mouth kind of reckless. Don't need to go hills to get a bulge on a tubber like you. Now burn that smoke wagon and go to work. Melissa can't smoke weed, but no edibles. Can't breathe. All right, guys, I am out of here. I will see you on the flip side. Peace.